Once our bodies were buried with spices. Do you want to go under with me? Your mouth will be opened by ISIS. There's air just enough to be cleansed, redeemed. Clash against fantasy, cleansed, redeemed. Do you want to go under with me? Find the knife between my thighs, swirling through my throat. Sail right into painted eyes. Sit back, I'll take your coat. The night is ours, no need to cry. Gather round, children, I'll tell you no lies. Tell you no story, just give you your own. And now your own, knocked up with seeds and redeemed. Clash against fantasy, cleansed, redeemed. Do you wanna go under with me?
Oh, hello. We are here. We are punctually puncturing. Yes. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to my drawing room. You are in the house that I sleep and bathe in. I am so excited to do my first live stream of my entire life. And I'm so excited that I'm wearing yellow for you. Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Let's just pretend that you can smell my pheromones, that you're just slipping around in a big pool of my estrogen, because, honey, it's flowing right now. Oh, yeah, some people can feel it. Kimberly can feel it. All right, so it's been a tough week. It is Mercury is in retrograde, and I am feeling it in every corner because what sucks is that we need technology more than ever. And so when it doesn't work, it feels extra painful. So I'm just here to flush some yellow. Yeah, some mellow yellow. Look at these. Thank you. Thanks, Ben. I needed that. I miss flirting with real life people that aren't my children. So I I am here to share. Oh, you can Bruce can smell it. Good. I'm here to share a piece of bread that I baked. Really, like, we do these little art things in our own little holes, and then we come out and we're like, here, try a piece. And this little piece, this little cinnamon roll, is one that I made um, a couple years back, but finally it's ready to share. And our release, of course, was postponed by tours and a bad PR company. I'm not going to get into that, T, because, man, then this yellow will turn to red. And then pandemic hit, and so we couldn't even gather to revel. So this is the new world, baby, where we just, we sign on to moments, we gather around our Googles, we call in the children, we eat our soup with the pixels, and we watch things together. And here we are. And also there's people, oh, I need you, I feel you, I miss you. And really, this live stream, it's better than a live performance, right? No, I mean, we can't kid ourselves. Oh, yes. All the art holes are coming out tonight. We are serving with our glory art holes. And all the people who are watching this on replay, I feel you too, even though you're not here right now because you couldn't, because I don't know, because what's your fucking excuse, really? But I want to say hi to all of you, everybody who's watching at any moment, because Lord knows there's moments I can't just turn on a screen again, and I can't do another one. But I hope that my force of life is coming into your bedrooms and it's just going to get underneath your little blankets and tickle you when you need it most, when you want to slide back into bed, even when the morning has just started. Breast wishes to you, breast wishes to us all. So the first, that was my welcome. That was my welcome. And then our first bit of business, just to get lube you up. I'm a big fan of foreplay and lubrication. I wanted to give you a song. I wanted to celebrate my collaboration with Yair Evnin because he's the composer of the music of this song that we're watching the video. But he's in Berkeley, all the way over there, and so I have a little video from the last time that we were in each other's molecular space, and I'm going to share a little song with you because we need some rose-colored glasses with a little La Vie en Rose and Janelle Monáe's Pink. Yeah, go for it. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parlait tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit les mots de tous les jours, et ça fait quelque chose. Il est rentrant dans mon cœur, une porte de bonheur, et je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Pink, like the inside of your baby. Pink, behind all the doors. Crazy pink, like the tongue that goes down. Maybe pink, like the paradise found. Pink when you're blushing inside. Baby pink is the truth you can't hide. Maybe pink like the folds of your brain. Crazy pink as we all go insane. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, 'cause boy, it's cool if you got blue. We got the pink. Pink. Oh, what are the words? Pink, pink, oh, pink where it's deepest inside. Baby pink is the truth you can't hide. Maybe pink. Do-do-do-do-do. Crazy pink beyond forests and thighs. Ooh. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, 'cause boy, it's cool if you got blue. We got la vie en rose. La vie, la vie, la vie, la vie en rose. La vie, la vie, la vie, la vie en rose. There's a fade out. La vie en rose. La vie, la vie, la vie, la vie en rose. La vie, oh man, that was summoning a little Grace Jones at the end. We all just need to have a vision of Grace Jones hula hooping on stage right now in our brains, and then we'll all feel better. I'm glad you liked that. Thank you for all your kind comments. I love reading them. It really, you don't know how much I needed this right now. Because performers need to perform. It's true. It's like we're animals that have been made for performance, and then all of a sudden when it's been stripped from us, it feels really strange to just do it for the checkout person, because they're like, there's a lot of people waiting in line at the grocery store. Okay, miss, could you please stop singing? um I decided to wear a full dress for you guys because I feel like, it's time to let the old shirt cocking go, even though you can't see that I'm wearing, that I have anything on bottom. I know that I'm not wearing sweatpants. But I do kind of enjoy that everybody's getting a little Winnie the Pooh action, just a little red t-shirt, nothing on bottom, Winnie the Pooh. Welcome to Blur's Day. Who knows what day it is, but it is a day, it is a night, and it's wherever you are. I hope you're feeling the love that I'm sending out to you because it's coming strong. And I got some more love coming for you right now, honey, honey, honey. We are here to celebrate the release of my new music video. I shot this video in the bucolic Catskill landscape and then in a amazing little studio in Canal Street. And the reason this video was made, as soon as I heard this song, I had this thought. This director, I knew he was a photographer as well, named Matthew Placek. He makes such glorious imagery that is so serene and expressive. And I thought, I'm just going to call him and see if he wants to join into the collaboration. And I sent him the song. He was very excited about it. And so I would love to bring to the stage, to our little stage in this corner of the world, in front of the blossoming flowers behind me. Ladies, gentlemen, in betweens, let us gather and join hands for Matthew Placek, our director. Come, Matthew. Come, Matthew. Matthew's coming into the. Oh, Matthew. There he is.
Hi, everybody. How you doing,
Matthew and
Rizzo?
I am good. We're giving primary colors. We're just back to basics. Like
Uh,
this.
I have to admit that I did come on, and I was also in yellow, and I think I need a contrast, because I'm not controlling at all, and I just felt like maybe that's what's best.
I just love that you're serving some 70s sex dream with the chest hairs. Really just I'm really glad that you are showing your boobies, basically. Thank you.
Thank you. I did that
It's
just for
very
you.
well placed. Not everybody
I
has a tree like that, just like a tree.
No, that's true. You've placed your hands here many a time, and
I'm sure every time I see you, I do.
I
I'm
miss
highly
that.
well, hopefully I usually ask consent, but I'm getting better at it.
Oh, you've got consent.
Oh, I got a permanent consent. Okay. So
Mhm.
Matthew, you started out as a photographer mainly, and tell me about your
Mhm.
transition into video work a little bit.
Yeah, my training has always been photography, and that started, when I was a kid. I was taking pictures when I was like 12 and 13 in Ohio, and then I came here to do photography professionally and go to school and learn some stuff and apprentice and then move on to do my own stuff. But it's always, been a storytelling kind of picture. I've always wanted to pack them full of beginning, a middle, and an end. So it was always inevitable that I would move into film. More than a music video, I never knew, but working on a feature for one day, who knows when that'll actually happen. But I think I just needed to grow up and understand how I wanted to tell stories. But that was the through line.
The transition. Yeah, your photos, I remember first being bowled over by the brand of genius that you're able to connect to in this one spread in V magazine. Does anybody remember V magazine? Is this still around? Is V still
Yeah,
around?
no, they're still doing
And
it.
I believe
One of the
this
few, one of the very few, sorry to interrupt, one of the very few independent magazines still operating. It's like there's not a
thriving.
whole lot left, and they're still doing it. It's been 94. I mean, at least it's Visionaire and now V Magazine. Anyway, sorry.
The image was I believe Justin Vivian Bond was in it.
Mm.
There was like a balloon. There was a lot of
Yeah.
people. I think that Glenn Marlowe was in it.
Yeah. Glenn Marlowe and Machine was in it. M. Lamar. Oh God. There was like 9-10 people.
It was an
Sorry.
explosion of downtown New York.
Yeah, it was an editorial of social communities that make stuff, do stuff, socialize, make clothing, make performance, and I think I did 8 different group portraits like that.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, that was when I was like, hold up. How do I get near to this man and touch his chest hairs? And so then with this, when I called you and I said, listen to the song, tell me what you think, you were like, oh, I really like the song. I knew you would. You know, sometimes I can feel like stylistic, you know, music can sometimes appear visually, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever
Absolutely.
have that
Constantly.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, I'm in a music video all day long.
Right. You are in a music video for me right now, too, which is set in 1973 in a Playgirl magazine. But when I called you and I thought, well, like, asked you what your thoughts, you were like, I've been playing with this durational kind of photography thing. And you had just done a long form durational where basically you set up a camera and you experience the natural world. Tell me a little bit more about where you were in your process there.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. I had just done a time-lapse film with the Philip Johnson Glass House, and Yayoi Kusama was doing an installation on the glass house. She was doing her polka dots. You know, if you all know Kusama, her pumpkins, the polka dots, a Japanese artist who is highly gifted, and she is an elevated human being.
Put that in the comments because everybody has to.
No, okay, I'm hoping I'll remember the Yayoi. It's Yayoi, Yayoi, if I'm not mistaken. Kusama, Kusama.
Yeah, I saw she was in Australia. They had in the Victoria Biennial, a whole room. I went into a whole room by her. That was
right. The Firefly Room. I think it's not the name of it might actually be the name. I can't remember, but I have been in that installation before. The Infinity Room. Whatever it is, it's spectacular.
Very one that was like filled with flowers, and we were like in just a room. Every single like imagine this room right here, but every surface was covered with this same flower. It was surreal and fantastic. Yeah. So you were saying you had had you just seen something or done something?
She was doing a project with the Philip Johnson Glass House in New Canaan, Connecticut, and installing her polka dots on the glass house itself. And this is a very special place and some piece of architecture and a National Historic Trust site that I've done a lot of stuff with. And I made a time-lapse film all over the property over the course of 3 days doing that. And, you know, I've worked with a lot of performance artists in my life doing durational performance stuff. And I think not long before that, I was doing something with Marina Abramovic and Terrence Coe, Vanessa Beecroft. I'm often hired by artists or at least I was at the time, to make a picture that looks expensive so they could sell it, because how else do you make a living from doing
performance
ephemeral art? Yeah,
right.
It's like they've got to make a living. So often it's documentation, and if you want to make an appropriate living.
The portrait you'd make.
Yeah, so they would commission me to do a work for hire. So they essentially own the rights to those images and they sell it as their own work. And so anyway, I was doing this time lapse. It made a lot of sense. You contacted me about this project and a beautiful film, or a beautiful piece of music that I really, really, really loved. And it's not whether you're a Beyonce or an independent artist, an independent young artist. Like, nobody has money for music videos. It's really hard. And so, I think you had a pretty good budget, and I was like, with some limitations, but like really great people, Machine, who we'll meet in a little bit, and you, and that's all you need to like make some magic, and like just to dive in and give away to control a little bit. And so we, one of the suggestions was to do time lapse, and I guess I don't want to answer any questions you have on your plate, but metamorphosis was on the plate, and this stage way of seeing things frame by frame. So,
and since we've mentioned Machine, let's transition to like because it was your idea to bring Machine into it.
I actually don't remember. I think whatever it was mutual, because
the minute you said it,
for fuck's sake, it might have been, honestly, I don't remember, but either way, obviously we are all a part of a very special, and if I dare say it, performance community. I on the outskirts of documenting that and making stuff, but like I'm not a performer, but I think we all hold a place in a very special community, and in our particular generation, which is a new generation is coming up already, and
I know. Don't remind me. No, just kidding.
It's just wild, it's like you pass, or at least I pass 40, and then I'm like, what? Like all this other stuff is happening, and it's like, so we talked about Machine. Whoever brought it up, it was a fucking great idea, and because
we were out for coffee in East Village, and you were like, I was thinking about bringing Machine into it. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, right.
I just want to segue, because I want it, before we bring Machine into the conversation, I want to talk about the moment that I realized Machine. I was at MoMA. I had been asked by Daniel Isengart, who's another member of this community, this rich New York performance community. My whole goal in life, ever since I was little and read about Andy Warhol, was to, I wanted to go to New York, and I wanted to be part of an art movement. That was like the goal. And so I think that I can relax my anxiety a little bit that I'm feeling this week, because I am part of that. I am part of a movement, and Machine was part of this movement. Isengart invited me to be part of this MoMA fashion show, tribute to Kircher, German expressionist. Machine was doing a fashion show with headpieces, and I was one of the models in it. And I remember putting on this globe on my head and thinking, whoever this queen is, they are a visionary, and I hope that they are able to survive and make their art forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. When I first started I do this little dance party, or at least I used to, and the first one I did, this is way back, and of course we're talking about costume and set design, and creative direction in terms of what we know of Machine now, and thank goddess this magical creature has the widespread and mainstream recognition that he so deserves. But going back, 10 a decade, I started this party, and my relationship, of course, is on with performance with Machine, but also on the dance floor. And the first year I did my party, I asked Machine to be a go-go dance floor baby, because why else is Machine called Machine? Because he doesn't stop. And that's one of my most cherished memories. We didn't even have a relationship like that, and I was like,
Why else?
sealed for life. Like whenever I can make something with this person, whether it's on a dance floor or behind a camera or in front of, I'll take it with open arms.
Don't stop. Let's
Mhm.
bring into our little. Oh, Genevieve has a question. Actually, the good question. The designer of the mirror headpiece was that I wore on my last tour was actually Daryl Thorne, and Daryl Thorne is another valuable member of our community, but a different
Mhm.
artist. But Daryl, yeah, Daryl's a whole other. But it lives in the same, I would say, same kind of pocket of. Damn, they made that
Mm.
miraculous piece of art out of that budget world,
Yeah,
wouldn't you say?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
absolutely. With Machine, this is the other thing. Anytime that I feel like Machine is becoming a household name, and I'm so proud
yeah,
uh, of him. And or no, I'm just like thankful that people finally caught up. But
yeah,
outside of our pretty big like performance community in New York City, but
mhm,
anytime I would tell somebody who might not know about Machine's work, it's like give the queen $5, a hot glue gun, and
yes.
some sequins, and you're gonna have a
Silver
3-hour show.
and perhaps, your discarded lunch. And
It's incredible. I mean, yeah, never ceases
so
to amaze me.
should we just bring the person we're talking about into the room?
He's way
Ladies
better to
and
look at.
gentlemen, in between Machine
Hi.
Dazzle.
Let me find out. I'm centered. Okay, I'm centered here.
Oh my
Hi,
god.
everyone. Well,
Hi there.
well, Rizo, you got your wish. I'm still alive and I'm making my art. And I don't know. I might charge $50 with my hot glue gun these days. $5 is so 2019.
Yeah, I know.
But Eddie, I think the joy of where my heart is at is being asked into a project. I think the heart of any project that I do, the reason why I do it is the collaboration with other people. Something that becomes greater than the sum of its parts.
Mm.
You know what I mean? People come together and they make something big and beautiful, and we learn. And as I like to say, relationships are kind of like, yes, you can have a relationship with yourself, but it's like, hey, I have things that you don't have, you have things that I don't have, but if we come together, we have it all, baby.
We've got it all.
That's one of my daily walks. That's one of
Well
my daily
said.
walks.
Agreed.
I'm hearkening back to this moment, us pulling up. So just we'll talk a little bit
Mhm.
more. Yeah, and we should note that Machine is very very well known for our patron saint of the arts, Taylor Mack. The collaboration with Taylor. Yes, Amy's mentioned that. Yes, absolutely. And actually, I think I met Machine originally through Taylor. Or no, I saw you as a Dazzle dancer first.
We know each other from way back. Even though
Yeah.
I knew that's where I met Taylor, back at the slide, at the cog, all of those places, when that's when I met you.
Yeah.
That's when that was before Taylor and I really started collaborating, that we were friends.
Yes. So, and this, which was dirtier, the slide or the cock?
Depends on which night you went.
True.
It's
True,
they,
true,
they
true.
all had their
To
nights.
the cock.
If Daniel Nardicchio was hosting, then it was a dirty night, and those were the nights you wanted to go.
That's so true.
Daniel, are you
Um,
watching? Send a message.
Oh, I know Daniel. I hope Daniel's okay.
Come
Daniel's having an
on.
underwear party by himself right now. Um, we're all having underwear parties
From your
every
lips to
night.
God's
by ourselves.
ears.
And so when we finally coalesced and we we had a place of land that we were going to do it at, and we lost it. And and then I
Oh,
reached out
right.
to
Yeah.
a dear friend, David Aldea, who I think is watching as well. Hi, David. Thank you so much. And see, this is also like what we need as artists is people who have put their energy into doing things where they can actually do things like buy land, because I knew that my friend David had just bought this sprawling piece of land in the Catskills and had a lovely slope, and had been asking me to come and sing songs around a fire for a long time. And so I said, "Oh, can we be there?" And he said yes. And I remember arriving there, and it was a little spooky, as I remember, because there was parts like bedrooms unused. Do you
Mm.
remember? And then we started working, and I thought it was too good to be true that from our collaborative talks over coffee to our meetings over email to then actually being on set, that everything was flowing with such ease, generosity, goodwill, relaxation, because I've been involved in a couple of shoots and that is not always the vibe.
Mm.
I'm wondering what do you think was either of you is the key to fostering in creative collaboration that kind of energy?
Well, I can speak. First of all, working with people that you love and you trust and you respect.
Mm.
Yeah.
Key number one. We were also in a very beautiful place. We had nature on our side. You breathe that air, and you instantly have the Great Mother on your side. I think that's a big part of it. Personally, Rizo, watching you with your child who was so young at the time was a very nurturing moment, and that definitely helped, I think, shape our moment. Watching this amazing mother, very talented, chanteuse, and almost like the clay of the earth, molding clay. That was it, and then I had my own creative process, which is therapeutic, and then for me, Matthew, I knew you had it under control, and you're a visionary, and everything that comes out of your eyes, so, it's
It really
amazing.
there is a trickle down quality from the director, though, of setting the tone of communication style. And Matthew, I must say that you have just a very grounded, generous communication style that is, under even pressure and stress, it is still easy. Is that because you do yoga every night?
Thank you. I'm sure that I don't do it every day anymore. It's been a while, but I'm still in it. But yes, I'm sure that helps. But also, further to what Machine said, working with people you love and respect, going into something like this, there is a great deal of trust. And I am a very controlling image maker. I've gotten a lot better in my older age, but like, as opposed to my 20s and 30s, but like, it was really important to be able to make something like this where we had a cohesive idea. And I also like understood better how you work, Rizo, and how you work, Machine. And I had to let go of how I worked and specifically, and allow room to listen and trust, because, and I think that's the best lesson I could have as I continue to work in film after that time, because the most important part of my job is to choose and pick and accept projects with people that you trust and allow them to do what they do best and step back. So I think working with both of you allowed me to do that. And Machine and I talked about ideas and expressed what he wanted to do on the day of, but it was kind of like a broad idea, you know,
Mhm.
and knowing so much of what he's done, I'm like, whatever she does is going to be great. I'm gonna like set the parameters, set the frame, and then you go do it. You need help cutting something or gluing something, you just let me know.
Yes.
I'll jump
Yes.
in. Yeah. But then also to answer your question, the communication style, thank you. That's an incredible compliment.
Yeah.
It's something I work at hard. It's not a simple thing. But I think no one is going to react well to stress and aggression, anger, frustration. So I gotta keep calm in order for everybody to move to the next step. You know, that's so important as a director, I think.
It is. It is. And yeah, as I said before, I've been on many sets. I think you can only feel the tension in our country right now to know that what you have in a high, I mean, in a high administrative office, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and really administrator in a way is what a director does, like putting things,
Right.
the different parts of the government together. It's similar to a government.
Mm-hmm.
It trickles
Yeah.
down, and we feel energetically what's being put out at the higher administration office. So yeah, hopefully things have shifted.
Yeah.
We speak no more of those lost 4 years. Um,
Mhm.
Where did
um,
they go?
But you
Where did they go?
also, right?
because
But you
where
also operate in the same manner, Rizzo. You know, it's like this project starts with you and creating the music, picking, in this case the poem
Mhm.
by Dylan Thomas, and you thought of me for this for whatever particular reason, and because it resonated with you for the music, and then you're doing all the same
Yair
things.
composed this incredible thing, and then we got into the studio. I mean, there's a whole life
Mhm.
of song before getting in. We recorded that at Boo Mitchell's legendary Memphis Royal Studios, which is where
Mhm.
Isaac Hayes and Carla Rhodes and Al Green recorded, and yeah, so the song has magic in it already. But um, thank you, thank you so much for both saying yes and also the patience with. I do want to say one thing is that the ease of the collaboration that existed with us all on the ground,
Mhm.
and in the making and even in the editing, Mitch Martin, incredible editor who made
Mhm.
this. That didn't mean that then when we came to the releases, then the sticking points, and like sometimes, like I made another video that was hard to make, and then the release was relatively easier, and then this one, we had all these, we wanted to make it a big event because we were so
Yeah.
excited. And then to get our schedules in line, and my tour, and then Machine was gone, and then the place fell through, and then we got another place and they weren't available. And then I had a bad PR company that was like, hold on, don't release it yet. And then, we finished this in early 2018, and now apparently it's 2021.
Right.
And apparently somebody told me.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's really obvious with when children grow how many years have passed, because you'll see photos in the behind the scenes of how small Tennyson, my 5-year-old, was then. But I guess I wanted to say one little message, inspirational message to those out there, is that it doesn't matter if things don't go along the timeline of that you had expected to. There's no point in which that you should put away your creative projects. Like it still deserves a birthing process, no matter if it's a delayed experience, right? Okay.
True.
So now, having said that, let's make the experience. Let's do the release. What do you say?
Woo!
Let's do it.
Okay.
Jazz hands. Jazz
Ladies,
hands.
gentlemen, in betweens, welcome to the live premiere of the video directed by Matthew Placek. Sometimes the sky's too bright.
sky's too bright, or has too many clouds or birds, or far away's too sharp a sun to nourish thinking of him. Why is my hand too blunt to cut in front of me? My horrid image is for me of over-fruitful smiles, the weightless touching of the lip. I wish to know I cannot lift but can, the creature with the angel's face who tells me hurt and sees my body go down into misery. No stopping, put the smile where the tears have come to dry. The angel's hurt is left, who's telling her. Sometimes a woman's heart has salt, or too much blood. I tear her breast and see the blood is mine, flowing from her, but mine. Then I think perhaps the sky's too bright. Watch my hand, but do not follow it, and feel the pain it gives. But do not ache.
Oh,
Oh shit.
short
That shit held up.
applause
Can
in
I
the
tell you?
timeline.
You know, that was my first time. That was my first time watching it. I don't know if you
No.
knew that.
What?
No, that was my first time watching it.
We just popped your cherry?
Oh my god.
I mean-
I love that.
Listen, a machine's cherry can be popped multiple times because the machine just keeps manufacturing cherries.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
What's a
Yes.
machine to do? No, that was my first time. I don't think you knew. I didn't.
No.
I didn't have a copy. I never saw it. I'm so happy about it.
I'm
I'm so
really
happy about
embarrassed that I didn't send that to you already. I'm really embarrassed.
That's because we haven't been on a dance floor together. If we'd been on the dance floor together in real life, you would have stuck a disc in my
true.
pocket. I'm sure.
Thank you. It's true. It's true.
Oh my goodness. So, obviously, I don't know if it goes by very quickly. It's a short song. And so we are at the end of the stream. We're going to watch it again. But I stood out in that field for, we were aiming for 8 hours, but we just did, I think, 6.5, right?
Just. Yeah.
But that's a long time to stand.
It's a
And
long.
I remember as it got night and that moon was coming, it got cold, and you were
Yeah.
full naked. I mean, you're really a trooper. Talk about endurance performance. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The shoot of that video was all about endurance, because it was about first endurance, about standing and dealing with cold. And I had actually done ayahuasca two years before, and I kept on hearkening back to the biggest lessons that I had learned about pushing through discomfort. Like, because that was what in that psychedelic trip, big old trip, ayahuasca trip, just came back of like, I have the power to push through discomfort. And so that's what I kept on to be like, I have the power to push through discomfort. I have the power. I got to remember that right now, because Honey's feeling a little discomfort. Not right now. I feel very comfortable.
Who's your dealer?
Well, I do have some golden phoenix mushrooms if you want me to. I'm microdosing. I mean, I will do anything for art. It's true. I'm just here to explore into the great psychedelic realm so I can bring back nuggets for you all.
Oh, Dan Levin. I just want to a shout out to Dan Levin who did all of the processing and photographic work to do that stop animation portion of the film, and he's
Oh,
very happy. I don't think he's seen it either. He just said
oh,
bravo.
really? Oh,
Bravo.
amazing. And also,
Yeah.
because we're in shout out mode, Adam Thies is watching as well, and he's behind the horn arrangements of that song. And he's like,
Ah,
"You have to be part
gorgeous,
of-" See, the
gorgeous.
collaboration strings kind of
Yeah,
they keep on going.
it takes
And
a village.
oh yeah, yeah, it does take a village, honey, and we all do our little part, and then we should feel happy and excited when finally some piece of magic is birthed through.
Yeah.
I would love to now bring my co-collaborator and the composer of this song, Yair Evnin, into our little circle. So, human beings, put your imaginary applause on, or real applause. You can make noise, you can hoop and holler for Yair Evnin. Come on in.
Hi guys.
Oh, Yaya's in Berkeley.
Can
Hi.
everyone? Is my eye at the right level?
Yes, yes, but you missed the color pop message.
I did miss it, but someone needs to like anchor the whole situation, right?
Yeah,
I'm here to make you all look better. That's what I'm saying.
kind of this Parisian. Oh, Tobias is what? Hi, Tobias. So Yair and I just want to quickly talk about the genesis of this song, because we had played many seasons in London at the Soho Theatre, and the artistic director Steve Marmion, who should be sleeping right now because he's in London, he reached out to us for this project celebrating Dylan Thomas's 100-year anniversary of his birth, centenary. And Dylan Thomas is responsible for inspiring basically every rock artist that you ever loved, because I mean, not everyone, but like, Bob Dylan notoriously took his name as in honor, and Bowie was inspired by him, and the Thomas's writing is incredibly rich and ahead of its time. And to dive into this project, which was taking these letters that had been uncovered of Thomas's affair with a Jewish American journalist, a secret affair. She died. Her kids published the love letters, and in a book, and then we made that into theatrical process. And Yair, I just wanted to ask you about if you have any recollections of sitting with this piece and writing for it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it really well. Like it was first of all, it's just so thrilling. Like we were in London or we were in Scotland when this all came together. So like we didn't sort of plan on doing it, and we ended up staying longer after we performed in London. So it was all kind of like, oh, art's just happening. Like projects are just sort of, coming at you, and that's such a special feeling when like, you kind of feel like that those things are possible. Hey, why don't you just stay a little longer and like we'll put up this show, and so I feel like I was just in a kind of a, I don't know, I was in a sort of a dizzy, like happy little art sort of moment, and they were just getting fed poetry, and then having to go and write it was like such a dream. I don't know why I don't just do this more, or like I mean, if anyone writes poetry and they want to feed it to me, but this one just like it was one of those things where it just like came out in like an hour, and I was listening to the demo that I recorded, and I could hear how moved I was by the lyrics and the music. Like when I listened back to it, like I was almost crying just singing in the poetry, So I'm so happy that this song has a life that kept going in all of your work,
Yeah, one thing I really loved about this piece, I mean, not obviously the kind of thumping beat that you created. It felt I kept on using the word hip, which I don't think I use that word very often, but there's some that's timeless and hip at the same time, which feels like a paradox. But
Yeah.
using this kind of repetitive phrase, which I
Yeah.
know sometimes you like to play around with, gave it this beat that almost felt like, I don't know, like hip hop, or it had some soul to it. But then adding the oboes, yeah, every time I listen to it, I'm happy.
Well,
And
we were tasked with, like, I mean, the way that they did the project was they had an English composer and a Welsh actor, and then me, an American composer, and Rizo, American actor. So the idea was to mimic this love story between Dylan Thomas and Pearl, this New York Jewish woman. And so I felt like the stuff that I wrote and had this sound, had to have something like American, So I felt like everything I was doing wanted to come from like a more urban place or something. So I feel like everything I did kind of looked for something like that kind of edge. So to me, it does sound kind of like, it sounds a little bit like New York or something. I don't know.
yeah, there is a New York vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And watching that video, the metamorphosis. So I do want to quickly note about how we got to the place of the butterflies. Or maybe we should do that over the slideshow. Let's do that over the slideshow. So we have some images, some behind the scenes images that we can actually talk over. Yeah, so I think I first had this idea. I'm like, do you think that spiders could come out of my mouth? Right? That's what I said.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and so we investigated, and I actually even reached out to an arachnid specialist, Diane somebody gave, and maybe it was Michael Carbonaro, gave me a connection to an LA woman who was like the insect Hollywood woman. And it seemed very troubling to do spiders. And so then we had the idea of ladybugs. Oh, love that image. And then we tried ladybugs. And the problem with ladybugs is that when you put a bunch of ladybugs in your mouth, they excrete a fear juice.
Oh.
Oh, there's Tennyson and Matthew. Speaking of fear juice, is
That's a good band name. If anyone hasn't gobbled that up, Fear Juice could be our band.
Juice, yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
And so
Fear Juice.
so then we had a backup of butterflies, and luckily the butterflies just were able to live inside my mouth, and then 4 at a time, and then I opened my mouth and slowly they would come out. But if you watch this video, you can kind of see my intense, like I'm trying to stay really calm, but there's like 2 more
Look at your
butterflies
hand.
in my mouth. And they're like on the back of my tongue, and I'm like, yeah, stay beautiful, stay gorgeous.
Wow.
And don't gag. And let them fall if they fall. Heavy breathing, emotional. I hope nobody's eating their dinner. No, actually, you could eat insects. I love you. I love Machine reaching in and putting it, or no, Matthew putting it back on my tongue. Like,
You're
I'm
on
just
set
gonna put it
with
back
me
there.
at Mighty Lucky Studios on Canal
yes.
Street in New York City. Today, so excited because I'm filming the video for Sometimes the Sky's Too Bright, my second
This is our
single.
hair and makeup person.
And that song is being released today, that single. So it's this amazing confluence of events about this song, which is lyrically taken from a poem by Dylan Thomas. This is Amy.
Hi.
Amy's doing my hair and makeup, and Matthew Placek is directing, and I'm so glad you're here.
So this was a moment with the ladybugs, because they would travel everywhere, and we would try
I want to take a bath now.
get in my hairline and feel like they're crawling. Speaking of psychedelics, it felt like a real experience. And they would cluster together with my saliva, and then excrete the fear juice, and then kind of fall out with a big
I just
plop.
had a bunch of ladybugs in my mouth. And now we're drying the mouth so we can put butterflies in. Because it's a fun and interesting life. With many things to do, so why not put some insects in your mouth?
Oh my God, we were on the highway and we saw the golden arches. I walked up to those arches and I spread them and I dug my face in there for those chicken McNuggets. And they were delicious. Barbecue sauce, that's the key.
That little clip to McDonald's with no response. Oh, and this is the goodbye.
Then they just fall. That's the kind of, that's the really glamorous.
The sound of ladybugs falling. Oh, yes. So that was some behind the scenes. That was fun to watch, right? Fear juice. What does fear juice taste like? It's like acrid, I would say. It tastes light green yellow. So I did want to say one more thing about the video, is that when you watch it the second time, which we're just going to play it another time, really look for the end moment, because there's a shooting star that was caught.
Yeah.
And that in some of those images that were going by while I was yapping, you saw a machine making something out of mylar. And if you want to just speak to that a little bit, Machine, about that. Tell me, Machine, actually, if you could quickly just talk about what went on in your mind with the process. How'd you get there?
I feel like I feel like my prompt was, I was building something around you. What I didn't know at the time, and what serendipitously happened, is that you had butterflies coming out of your mouth. I think I felt like I was building a cocoon around you. Now, I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I was kind of hoping for wind so that you would see fuzzy bits of color. I mean, I'm very happy with how it happened. I wasn't sure. Everything I do is an experiment. Everyone's a guinea pig. I knew that we were doing time-lapse photos. I knew that we were building. It was an opportunity for me to build something. And so I wanted to build something colorful during the day. And then at night, I wanted to build something that would reflect the moon, something that was reflective, that would really capture the light. So this very long endurance, performative installation, costume, multi-hyphenate situation, it became what it became. And at the end of the day, when you're dealing with light and video, you're ultimately dealing with light itself. Imagine a world without light. So I love shiny things that reflect the light. I love color. I'm not sure what else to say about it, but
I also
that's what
remember
I
you
was thinking at the time.
showing up in that full camo. We didn't expect that. I love that. Like,
the thing, I know.
So good.
Well, here's the deal. I will be honest. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how much you would see me, and I didn't want you to recognize me as me. I think you see me a lot more than I thought you would. I wanted to try to blend into the landscape, or at least be a shadow of something, or be an anonymous figure, let's say.
There you are holding Tennyson.
So, I mean, I kind of blend into the grass really well. Like I said, it's all in the lighting. I wanted to be something building something around you. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to necessarily look like myself. I was like, well, what does that look like? A shadow of what's going on, a shadow of an idea,
Yeah.
where in certain light I blend into the landscape. That's what I was thinking.
I feel like that really worked because there's moments where you can see you in the video,
Yeah,
um, and I encourage
yeah.
everyone just to play Spot Machine, machine, um, and
I
and and then you were building this world around me. I was nude, and then building this world that kind of a really a building almost. It was architectural.
it was
Um,
I was building it was like a cocoon, really.
Mm.
I was a safe space, a sanctuary, a
mm,
cocoon, a place that fosters transformation, um, a womb.
yeah,
Uh, I'm not sure that I have a word for it,
you've got a lot
but
of words.
I know that transformation is one of my favorite words. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite words. It's a very powerful word. Transformation, something that becomes something else.
Mm.
Uh, and I that's what I'm interested in. And for some reason, um, Matthew and you, our early conversations just, uh, I think it just naturally, uh, transformation was on my mind.
Yeah,
And then
it made a lot
from
of sense.
the yeah, from the building, then I emerge in this mylar dress that really became a river because
Mm.
I'm not sure if you can even feel the length in the video, but it was probably 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
From me,
Oh, I
cascade.
just want to say
At
one thing.
least,
Also, Machine. We made the in studio stuff with the Pink Lady moths a long time after the shoot that we did in the lawn. So the ideas
yeah.
of metamorphosis and cocooning, like that hadn't really surfaced yet. We were talking about spiders and ladybugs. So
Mhm.
it was
Right.
very
I
intuitive,
remember
honestly.
spiders.
You, yeah.
Yeah.
But like
I like
the cocoon
the
is
whole thing.
very intuitive.
Yeah, very serendipitous how it all happened.
Hmm.
Emergence, and
Yeah.
then flight. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
I love building that mylar creation on you as the sun was setting into twilight and literally into the dark while you were standing there freezing, and then the shooting star happens. It was magic. It was magic, magic, magic.
yeah. And Tennyson being so confused why I was just standing and he could not come to me. Remember, it wasn't a he wasn't in a place where logic was even making any sense. And like he had to, we basically had to just take him away because it was like, though he was quite good. He's a good set baby for sure.
Yeah, he was a
Oh,
bit. Oh my god.
I mean, look at that
Oh,
face. So cute.
it's
He's so
That
so
cute.
baby, I can't.
I do have to give one more shout out that Terrence Clark is watching as well. Terrence gave us the incredible drums on that track as well in Memphis, and uh, and I think actually we might wrap it up because we've had a lovely little chat for an hour, if you can believe. Oh, two drummers. Paul Taylor is here too. Oh, there were two drummers. See, that's how good that track is. And Ben Jonas, my incredible manager, who is uh, he was producing that track. Um, so I just want to give one other shout out. Liam Baker is the one who shot that La Vie en Rose pink video that we saw in the beginning. And love him very much. He's from the UK, and oh, Pony's here watching. I love that. Today, if you haven't by chance bought that song of mine, or my album Indigo, today Bandcamp is not taking any percentage. So if you were going to buy it today, I would say go over to Bandcamp and buy it because the artists receive all the money. Um, all the moolah. And honey, mama needs it right now because nobody's being touring. Or if you haven't, the best way to listen to that whole album is on vinyl. It's so rich, so deep. And you can buy that album on vinyl through my website, rizo.love, rizo.love. I'm done with the .coms. That whose shoulder did you just see? That was Debs, who is producing this whole event. Thank you, Debs Baird. Thank you, Ben Jonas, my entire management team. Thank you, Erica Henderson. McKinsey's out there. If anybody has any quick questions that they want to ask, any pressing questions that are you can ask them right now while I give these last little bits of shout outs. I think that's all my shout outs. Really, just stay alive, wear a mask. Let's get through this moment. Get that vinyl shit. Yeah, it's so good. Thank you so much for tuning in to an hour and 5 minutes of live. I thought this would be 30 minutes, but there's so much to talk about. There's so much to share with these incredible artists. Thank you, Matthew Placek, for directing and joining me here. Thank you, Machine Dazzle, for dazzling every space that you enter. Thank you, Yair Evnine, your incredible soundscape. Danny Ramirez, when will we see you in New York again? When will we see New York again? I don't know, honey. All I can do is I just hope that we turn the corner in this unprecedented time. I'm tired of saying unprecedented. Yair's giving us some cello. Some. You want to give us a little bit?
I don't know. Debs asked for it on the thingy. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? I think I remember the words. Sometimes the sky is too bright. Skies too many clouds, far away is too sharp. Nourish.
Oops, sorry, I don't remember the part.
Of you.
We're so close to being able to play with each other in real time. I can almost feel you guys.
Oh, somebody said Cherryland Saint changed their life. Thank you, Brian. That's really kind. That was the first song that Yair and I wrote together. We were trying to get up the courage to get into the same space and write again. So that helps me. Just brave the tin can cube for a moment with double, triple masks and fly down to Berkeley and make some music with you. I love all of you. We're going to sign off by showing this gorgeous video again. Once again, thank you to everybody who signed in, and stay tuned. I might just do this more often, even though I was afraid of it. You've made me feel less afraid. Sometimes the sky is too bright or has too many clouds or birds, or far away is too sharp a sun to nourish thinking of him. Why is my hand too blunt to cut in front of me? My horrid images for me of over-fruitful smiles, the weightless touching of the lip. I wish to know I cannot lift but can.
Watch my hand, but do not follow it, and feel the pain it gives. But do not ache.
I hope you saw the shooting star. I want to give one more final thank you to my Patreons who have helped me so much since September really stay alive and making and creating every month for them. If you have been wondering about Patreon, but you're too scared to check it out, check it out. There's all sorts of levels, and it's really a beautiful community that we've created that is one step away, the necessary away from other social media. It feels sacred, protected, and it's not a company that sells your information or is harvesting you or human metrics, but it's really just to help patrons. Some of my patrons are still here. I love you guys. Check it out at patreon.com/RizzoLove. And that's it. Au revoir. Good night. Sleep tight. I'll read it say good night. Good night. I think